Hi guys, Harry here, and this week has just been a whirlwind of emotions. We've had some terrible news of Bernard Cribbins, who played Wilfred Mott in Doctor Who, unfortunately passing away.
Some breaking news to bring you now. In the past few minutes, it's been announced that the veteran actor Bernard Cribbins has died at the age of 93. Bernard Cribbins, who narrated The Wombles and starred in the film adaptation of The Railway Children, was one of the most versatile and popular entertainers of his generation. He managed to be a favourite on children's TV while also starring in the bawdy Carry On films.
Oh, Doctor, what about you now? Who have you got?
When he appeared with Doctor Who with David Tennant, it was his second Doctor. The first had been Peter Cushing, 40 years before.
The veteran actor Bernard Cribbins, who's died at the age of 93.
And we had some, could be good news, could be bad news, of Disney acquiring the rights to streaming Doctor Who on Disney+. And we have had some amazing news that the Lionesses won the Women's Euros 2022, and so it has been just insane rollercoaster of emotions this week, from terrible news to amazing news. But this video is about, does the Doctor Who 60th anniversary take place in an alternate universe? But before we get into the video, don't forget to subscribe, so leave a like and comment down below, and let's get into the video. So, David Tennant is obviously returning to play the Doctor, and this is one of the biggest questions of how is David Tennant returning to be the Doctor. But the biggest question, I think, is how is Donna Noble, Catherine Tate, returning as Donna Noble, since she had her mind wiped at the end of the Stolen Earth and Journey's End. And I think it would be kind of a bit weird. It would take away all the emotion we had when Donna got her mind wiped if it was just given straight back to her. Which is why I think the 60th anniversary could take place in an alternate universe. However, I still think the David Tennant Doctor is the Doctor from our main Who universe, as it would be a bit weird to follow a different Doctor, especially someone as iconic as David Tennant. But the rest of the characters and the actual world that we see him in, I think, is an alternate universe, an alternate Earth, an alternate world, which is why I think, well, it would just make a lot of sense. Another big clue to why this could be an alternate universe is Yasmin Finney, and she is rumoured to be playing Donna's daughter. However, she is too old to be playing Donna's daughter, as we saw in The End of Time that Donna got married to Sean Temple, and she didn't have any sort of baby bump or anything then, and it didn't seem like she had a child, like there wasn't a baby or even a young child that she seemed overly close with. So Donna's daughter would be 13 years old at most, and Yasmin Finney, well, she's 19, so she could probably get away with playing a 15-year-old, but definitely not a 13-year-old, and it would make it just a bit weird for the 60th anniversary, especially the 60th, to be set only a couple of years in the future, as the show is obviously following our direct timeline, so it will be 2023 in the 60th anniversary, not 2025 or 2026 or 2027. So it would feel a bit weird, and it would make no sense that the 60th anniversary of the show is set not from 60 years from when the show started. So it's a bit weird. And really, with the way the world is now, the world is on a knife edge, and I think it would be just kind of, well, ignoring all the problems in the world to just skip a couple of years into the future. The whole world, as I said, is on a knife edge with COVID, with the war between Russia and Ukraine, the rise in fuel prices, the state of the economy, like, even just in Britain, our Prime Minister was forced to resign. It would just be bad to skip ahead a couple of years, as the whole world might be completely different in a couple of years, and you don't want to go and kind of poke the bear with the world the way it is now. Like, the world is like a big angry bear that could just be ready to attack at the slightest notice. So it would just be a bad decision to go ahead a couple of years. But again, the main thing that is stopping this, I think, from being in the main universe, and why I think it is in the alternate universe, is that Donna's mind was wiped in the main universe, and it was stated by the 10th Doctor,
if she ever remembers me, her mind will burn and she will die.
And there was one safeguard in the End of Time Part 2, which I'm okay with, because it, like, she kind of was remembering, but then it, like, kind of knocked her out and probably reset her. So if there is another safeguard, then it could just be safeguard and safeguard and safeguard, and it will make Donna's sacrifice and the Doctor's sacrifice not a sacrifice at all. And if you think in this alternate universe, well, why is Donna so close with the 10th Doctor, or David Tennant's Doctor? Well, this Donna could have just travelled earlier with the 10th Doctor. She could have been in the order where Rose was in this one, and she decided to leave to be with her husband Sean Temple, and to raise their daughter, played by Yasmin Finney, if she's playing Donna's daughter. And she decided to leave like Martha did. And it would explain why they're both so familiar with each other, but why Donna has returned. And a parallel universe isn't so out there. I mean, this is Doctor Who. We've had parallel universes, like, since, I think, the 3rd Doctor. So it's really not that out there. There are multiple universes in the comics, in audio dramas, in books as well as we've seen in the TV show. There are so many universes. Well, they're kind of like called universes or different worlds. I'll just be using the comic or audio name or book name of that universe to slate it as the universe. Like the Unbound universe, the Final Genesis universe, that was a universe where the 3rd Doctor was killed. There was the Exile universe, where there was a female Doctor. There was a False and Negative universe, where the Doctor was a dictator. And there was a full Phantom 5 universe, in which the Doctor was, like, kind of more prone to violence and killing. A bit like the dictator, but he really kind of just believed that the ends justified the means to get what he thought was the right, well, outcome. A bit like we've seen the Doctor in The Darkest Times. And of course, in the actual TV show, in the Turn Left universe, the 10th Doctor died in that one.
We found a body, sir. Over.
Is it him? Over.
I think so. Just didn't make it out in time. The Doctor is dead.
And not only that, we had the Pete universe, where Rose Tyler was living out her life with the Meta-Crisis Doctor. So there's even the Meta-Crisis Doctor, which is David Tennant. So we could even follow David Tennant's Doctor, and there could be a Donna in that universe, and Rose could just be away, or they might not want to show her in, well, she might not be in a big part of it, and they might want to not announce her, as they've only announced David Tennant and Catherine Tate. But it would have to be, Rose would only be in it a small part for her role to not be leaked yet, as we've seen in many leaked set photos. But I think this is amazing, as this could open so many doors and make, again, another spin-off, as I think spin-offs were a great way for Doctor Who to explore its bigger universe and a multiverse, which is what Russell T Davies has wanted. He's wanted a universe, a multiverse like the MCU, and with them splitting into different timelines, different realities, it makes sense for Doctor Who to go in the same way. So that is my thoughts on why the 60th anniversary could be in a alternate universe. But let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. If you like this video, don't forget to leave a like, also subscribe and share it out, and I will see you in the next one.